Learning Time with Dyuti. Today, we're going to be tackling something brand new. Do you know what it is? Algebra! So, let's make no delay and get along with the video. Probably you'll be wondering, what is algebra? Well, I'm going to tell you the definition. So, algebra is when numbers are represented with letters and symbols. It's a part in math. Well, when I say this, you might not understand it that well, so I'm going to show you with some examples. Before we start learning complex stuff, let's look at the basics. Constants and variables. So, what's a constant? Well, a constant has a definite value. What does definite mean in this sentence? It means, well, you see the examples 2 and 3. 2 can't change into any other number. It has the same value and it won't change. That's why it's called definite. And variables are completely opposite to a constant. Has an indefinite value, which means the opposite of definite, and is represented through letters. Example X, Y, and Z. You'll be learning later what the mixture of variables and constants are. The two important terms in algebra are equations and expressions. Let's see how they work. So, let's go to equation first. Always has the equal to symbol. Let's look at the example given. 2x squared plus y cubed plus 2y gives or equal to 5x squared. So we can understand from this that if we add all these three things, you get this answer. So that makes it an equation. An easy way to remember is by you can notice that in the word itself, equation, there's a word equa. An equation always contains the equal to symbol. Now let's see what an expression is. It does not include the equal to symbol. So as you can see in the example, the equal symbol and the answer will not be included. Now let's see what a term is. Well, a term is the mixture of constants and variables that come before or after a symbol. What this means is, so it'll be these numbers that are a mixture of constants and variables and are in between the symbols. So 2x squared, y cubed, and 2y are some examples of terms. Now let's see what a factor is. A factor is basically something multiplied by something else. So let's see in this example, all we have to do is split this term. So we know that when there's a power with the term, that means that the number is multiplied by itself. So 5 times x will be the factors of 5x squared. And so here it will be y times y times y. Wasn't that easy? In algebra, the expression that contains one term is called a monomial. So let's see an example. I'm going with 5x. So it only has a term. Now, an expression that contains two terms are called binomial. An example I'm going with 5x plus 3y. So it has two terms. And finally, an expression that contains three terms are called a trinomial. 5x plus 3y plus 4z. A polynomial polynomial is an expression that contains more than one term. So that means a binomial and a trinomial are commonly known as a polynomial. In expressions and terms, knowing how to find the coefficient is very important. So let's look at the sums here. 5x squared. We have to find the coefficient of 5. Well, coefficient basically means what is multiplied to it. So it's basically asking what is multiplied to 5. So what's multiplied to 5? It's x squared. Another easy way to do it is actually just look at the number it's asking for the coefficient and just cover it. So you get x squared. You can do both ways. So x squared. Yay, we did it. Let's move on to the next one. Here it's y cubed, and we have to find the coefficient of y cubed. Okay, this is weird. My second method won't work that well. If you cover y cubed, nothing's left. So don't write 0. Don't write 0. So what you have to think of is what multiplied to y cubed will get us y cubed. It's obvious, isn't it? 1. So 1 will be the answer. The reason why I'm not saying 0 is because if you multiply any number with 0, the answer will be 0. But if you multiply a number with 1, it will be the same number. The last sum is 6y squared. We have to find the coefficient of y. My method won't come here because it's going to be a bit different. If we cover y, it will be 6 squared. It won't work because 6 squared times y is not 6y squared. So this is a bit tricky, but it'll be easy in the end. We have to use what we learned in factors. So what's the factors of 6y squared? It is 6 times y times y. And we have to take 1y away. So it will be 6 times y, or 6y. We did it! Hope you liked my video and make sure to like, share and subscribe. The coronavirus is spreading a lot recently, so please take care of yourselves and stay at home. See you later. Bye!